Thank you for tuning in to Carew on Cars and Carew's Garage in this episode. Please like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out. I'm trying to get to at least 100 subscribers and keep on marching onwards, making these videos better for you guys. So yeah, please subscribe. Okay, let's check out what we got in the box. Alright, like lots of intercooler piping and couplings. Cooler piping, Jubilee clips, more piping, looks like the connection from the blow-off valve here. What is this? And some metal connectors. That's box number 1. Box number 2. The intercooler, no, only joking, that's a piece of polystyrene. This is the intercooler. Big chunky old boy. Alright, decent core, extra cooling, more power. Should be pretty straightforward, right? Right, if we compare the size of the new core, compare this to what the old core looked like, you can see there is a significant difference in the size. Larger core will make a much bigger difference when it comes to cooling the air. Thickness wise, probably similar. The old one was slightly larger, but the surface area is huge. It's probably at least 2 of them. That should really help with cooling and get the performance figures we want. So step 1 is to remove the front bumper. Time to get this going. Bolt. Where's the washer? Don't forget to disconnect your wires. You're going to be in for a bad day. Cool. One bumper removed. There we go. It's going to be a tight fit. So these, I'm guessing, are the support bars for the underneath of the intercooler. There's a couple of holes here underneath the bottom of the front bumper beam, and there's 2 holes, 2 on top of the intercooler and 2 on the bottom, so I'm guessing that is supposed to just screw on as easy as that. Only one way to find out. So these are the top 2 holes I'm talking about, and underneath you have the same 2 holes on the other side, so they must clearly go into these holes here on the top and a couple of holes on the bottom, namely here, probably not that one. Though there is one issue, as you might have been able to tell, my front bumper has been smashed in at the front. Not by me, to note, even though I did rip off the front bumper. This was by a previous owner, so I know that the clearance of This join here is normally a problem, but hopefully that won't be a problem on mine because it's already been smashed back. Do need to sort that out eventually, but you can see the hole is actually upright instead of on the bottom. So it's going to make things interesting. Turns out the front mount intercooler actually needs to go a bit higher up, I think. Bottom of the bumper really comes to about an inch below this. It's about here, in line with the below bumper beam. So I need to actually hoik it up, which means I need to get it probably in between this gap, which means the top needs to be about here, which means it does need to go above this front beam. It needs to go up to here is no good because it hangs too low. It hangs about here, which is probably an inch lower than the actual bumper, which we want to avoid. So I think I will have to relocate this temperature sensor down here because it's taking up too much room. Right, actually if I move the left side all the way up, so the actual radiator is touching the top of this light here. Move that up so it's actually touching it, just to show you what it's like on this side. It's pretty much parallel with that bottom bit. You can see it's pretty much parallel, or slightly above the bottom subframe, the bottom of the front subframe. It's as good as it's going to get, so let's go with that. Okay, I've got a couple of bolts. They seem to be about 8mm in diameter, and they should screw nicely into the existing holes here. And the idea is to get your bracket, or a bracket that your front mount intercooler came with, and I will bolt those into place here, and then turn them and adjust them so they hold, kind of pivot them so they hold the front mount intercooler in place at the right angle, hopefully. So that's the plan. Let's give that a go. Right, we're getting there. Now I just got to carve off this piece to get the piping around there, and hopefully up through here somewhere. Same on this side. Cut this piece off so the piping can go around here. What most people don't show you is exactly where it goes. So it goes down there and then up under the arch through here, through this hole in the side where the old airbox used to be. One of these two holes, it will come all the way over the top into the turbo, and the other one will go from the inlet manifold all the way down here past the battery, and then down through one of these holes, and then probably this gap here where this wire is. I need to figure that out. There's a little hole there at the side, and then come around and back into the intercooler. Okay, time to figure out where these pieces go. I've seen a lot of guides on fitting front mount intercoolers, but they never tell you where the pieces of the pipe go. So here is a guide on that. So first pipe looks like this, and this comes from the right hand side, and it gets threaded up through the radiator, in between the radiator, well, the fans and the cam belt. So essentially, I'll try and do this with one hand. You've essentially got to get underneath the engine, put it to the left of the cooling pipe, thread that up somehow, if you can see it. Thread that up And then what you're left on this side is the rest of the pipe, which goes up and joins onto the right hand side of the intercooler. So pull this up a bit, pull this here. That should thread between that gap where the wire is, as I mentioned. There's a little gap here. I'll have to thread through there. Shimmy it in, something like that. So I'll figure that one, sort that one out afterwards. It does fit nice and snug. I've tested it before, and that's fine. So the next piece looks like this, and you can tell this goes to the blow-off recirculation valve, because it's got this little external connection on the end, and this hooks in to your inlet manifold. So this will connect onto your pipe here. It will come all the way around onto your blow-off valve and into the inlet manifold. So that's that pipe. Next pipe is this one. Now this one's for the turbo because it's smaller on one end, bigger on the other, and it's got a 180-degree bend in it. So yeah, that one will go around here at the turbo, which has got a white glove on the end to protect it from getting any dirt in. It'll come around, it'll actually go underneath this cable, so I'll thread it through under here, under the air filter, and it'll probably come out around about here. It's a little high at the moment, so probably look more like this when it comes out, and I'll get that underneath the wire afterwards. Then the last one looks like this. It's got a kind of a skewed 180-degree bend on one end. I believe this goes on the left hand side of the intercooler, and then this side gets threaded up to on a light. This side gets threaded up through here, through that hole there. So let's thread that up. It should come out, I believe. It's hard to do this with one hand. I believe it's the left hand hole, like so. Then that'll come around underneath, down, perfectly round to fit onto the left side. So there you have it. That's how all the pieces fit together. Now we've just got to button this up. I forgot before we get this connected up, we've actually got to remove some more of this bumper beam. So I think if I actually just cut where this hole is on the side, there's a little hole here, we'll just cut across that. Should be enough room to get the pipe on. I think there's enough room there, and this bit is actually separate, so this will actually just drop off. Fucking thing. That has to be the last cut. Jeez. Another piece of metal down. Another cut, I think, is needed. I think the cut needs to be up here again. For God's sake. Oh, I should have just cut more out. Right, turns out the pipe was actually rubbing up against the radiator cowling down here. So let me look at that. I've had to move the radiator back just to give it enough room to get in, and then that'll hopefully fix that. Might have to bend that cowling back a bit. Right, next step, time to cut up the bumper. So I want to cut up the front end of this bumper to increase the surface area and get rid of all this plastic that's going to stop a lot of the airflow hitting the intercooler. I'm just giving the bumper bean a bit of a spray just to tidy it up and de-rust it. So yeah, time to cut this out. Right, just needs a bit of tidying up and then should be good to go. Looks like a bit of a dog's dinner at the moment, but I'm sure we'll get it sorted out. Right, that's the front bumper gutted out. So now it's time to fit it around the intercooler, which should be fun, because this bit protrudes quite a bit over the front bumper beam. So see how much of this we have to chop off. Turns out quite a lot of this needs to be chopped off. So this is obviously hitting it, and the bottom bit is hitting this quite drastically. So we also need to make some room for the intercooler piping at the bottom. So this will be interesting. Let's start cutting away. Oh, that's a big piece. Really hope I got my measurements right. Oh, that's a chunky piece. Oh, too late now. The top is pretty much there, I think. But the bottom is not there, and it's mainly because of these sides and also this lip at the top here. So that's got to be trimmed back, and the sides probably. Let's have a look underneath. Yeah, that lip is touching the radiator on that side, and yeah, it's touching the screws and the lip on that side. So, the fog light is also touching my pipe, so I don't know how I'm going to fix that. Another day, right, back on the bumper. So, this is the bit they don't tell you about. So the intercooler piping is pressing against the fog light cover, so I've got to measure out exactly the width of the fog light, the gap between the bumper hinges, which are here. So I need to measure that out. That's the extra space I'm going to need between here and here. So yeah, fun times. After many hours, many painful hours, we finally got the front mount intercooler on. So here it is. fitted on with the front bumper. Got the piping. Bit of an issue with the front fog lights. It's slightly, pipes are slightly protruding through where the third fitment goes. So yeah, I've just got to deal with that, but the other two bolts are in, so that'll do for now. So yeah, front mount intercooler is not the lowest point of the car, so it's actually well above, probably a couple of centimeters above the bumper, the bottom of the bumper, so it's not the lowest point. It's not going to catch on speed bumps, etc., which means it actually protrudes higher than the front bumper, so it actually comes up to the top, just pokes through here, as you can see. So yeah, bit of extra cooling, but yeah, should be a decent amount of airflow on that, and yeah, that should hopefully get me to the 400 brake horsepower, the magical 400 brake horsepower mark we've been after as part of this project. So yeah, let's go get it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.